Alright, so we have a pretty important story here. So, as you guys know, there was another school shooting in Parkland, Florida, in which 17 kids were dead. There are many horror stories that came from that, a lot of heroes. There was a coach who had shielded children from bullets, and now he is dead. There was also another student who, to my understanding, blocked a doorway to prevent the shooter from coming in or the bullets hitting the kids, and he is now in the hospital. Now, Florida lawmakers, Florida's Congress, the legislature, was voting on a motion to debate whether or not to ban assault rifles and large capacity magazines. So it says Florida lawmakers have reportedly rejected an attempt to consider a bill that would ban assault rifles less than a week after the shooting at a Parkland, Florida high school. The Florida House on Tuesday voted 36 to 71 against a motion to consider a bill to ban assault rifles and large capacity magazines. It says the vote, which effectively kills the bill for the legislative session ending on March 9, comes amid a major push for gun control reform in the wake of the Florida shooting. Lawmakers, gun control advocates, and the student survivors of the Parkland shooting in recent days have urged Congress and the administration to implement tougher gun measures. And here's the interesting thing. It says students from the school were present in the gallery and looked on as the House voted against considering the bill. So again, this wasn't even to pass. It was just to debate it. So the fact that this got voted down is embarrassing, and I want to kind of talk about this because I have some thoughts on kind of guns in general and the legislation that there should be. So I'm in complete favor of the bill to ban assault rifles. So here's my thing, right? So I think that assault rifles are not, there's no reason to have assault rifles within, our population. We shouldn't be like we're in fucking Iraq. This is not Iraq. This is the U.S. We need to be in a civilized place. And it puts too many people in danger for no reason whatsoever. People don't need an AR-15. It needs to be something that's banned because things like AR-15 and assault rifles are something that massively endanger the populace, massively. And things like bump stocks, of course, should be banned as well as large capacity magazines. So for me, right, if the Second Amendment didn't exist, I would support an all-out gun ban. However, there's a Second Amendment in place, so I can't support that. Now, a lot of Second Amendment supporters or gun advocates say, hey, we need weapons to be able to fight the government if it becomes tyrannical, to prevent tyranny. Now, in this day and age, that argument is no longer valid. An armed populace is unable to take on a military with tanks, nukes, gas bombs, all kinds of stuff. They can't take on shit for that. Honestly, with an armed populace, all you have to do is bust out a tank and they're fucked. You have a nuke, you have obviously many nukes. You have, gas bombs, shit like Agent Orange. I mean, come on now, like, you really honestly believe that an armed populace can take down a massively, especially this bloated ass military that we have? No fucking chance whatsoever. It's not realistic, not happening. This idea is stupid. It's dumb. It's stupid and it's invalid. It is not valid. Now, here's the one thing that kind of gets me a little bit, where in terms I'm actually sympathetic somewhat to the argument. So, I live in California, so, and I'm in more of I'm in a suburban area. So, the police force is pretty active. However, in places like rural areas where there's not really an active police force, and people say, I need this to protect myself, that's the only gun argument that I am sympathetic to. I say, okay, that may be an actual concern that I feel like, okay, maybe that can, that's something that really could, something that you need or can really help you. However, I would say that in that case, you still don't need an assault rifle because you don't. I would still say only, handguns. I would say, pistols and shit like that. Nothing basically with a mag that's bigger than like 6 or 10 or something like that, because you don't need an assault rifle. And even if there's a small need for it, it doesn't matter because it's outweighed by the fact that like thousands of people are dying now. We're talking, I mean, there were so many people that died in the Vegas killing, and there's, again, like almost every other week or some shit, there's a mass shooting going on. So That's the only argument that I'm sympathetic to. Now, my situation with the Second Amendment being in place, ban all assault rifles. Ban all assault rifles. Ban all large capacity magazines. Make only handguns and pistols legal. And have massive regulations on those weapons as well. Because the amount of people that the Vegas shooter would have killed with the pistol is far lower than they would have with the AR-15 with the bump stock on it.